You've seen them, haven't you? Those people who seem to effortlessly navigate life, as if they've been handed a secret instruction manual. They walk into a room and instantly understand the dynamics. They tackle complex problems and find simple, elegant solutions. They build lasting relationships, make smart decisions, and achieve their goals with a quiet confidence that almost feels unfair. What if I told you there's no magic spell, no genetic lottery at play, but rather a profound understanding of what I call the hidden code? The trap, for most of us, is that we live on the surface. We observe the outcomes of success, the impressive title, the comfortable lifestyle, the seemingly perfect social circle, and we try to replicate them. We mimic the behaviors, chase the trends, adopt the language, believing that if we just act the part, we'll eventually become it. This is a fundamentally psychological problem, not a mathematical one. Our brains are wired for pattern recognition and social comparison. We see someone thriving, and our instinct is to reverse engineer their visible actions, assuming those actions are the cause rather than the effect of a deeper underlying system. We get caught in the performance, focusing on what appears to be successful, rather than understanding the invisible principles that actually generate success. We invest in the expensive car because it signals wealth, not because we've mastered the financial code that creates wealth. We chase external validation, mistaking a symptom for the cure. And this is precisely why so many capable, intelligent individuals find themselves perpetually chasing their tails, exhausted and bewildered, wondering why the map they're following doesn't lead to the promised land. They are trying to play a game without knowing the rules, let alone the underlying physics. Consider the research of Thomas Stanley and William Danko in The Millionaire Next Door. They meticulously studied thousands of millionaires and found a striking contrast between the prodigious accumulators of wealth PAWs and the underaccumulators of wealth UAWs. The PAWs weren't the ones driving luxury cars, wearing designer clothes, or living in sprawling mansions. In fact, many were surprisingly frugal, drove used cars, and lived in modest homes in average neighborhoods. They understood a hidden code that wealth is built not by spending to signal status, but by disciplined saving, astute investing, and a relentless focus on increasing assets while minimizing liabilities. The UAWs, on the other hand, often had higher incomes, but their lifestyles were characterized by immediate gratification and outward displays of affluence. They missed the code. They were playing a different game, one focused on perceived status rather than actual substance. This isn't just about money, though. This pattern extends to nearly every domain of life. It's the person who understands the code of effective communication versus the one who merely uses impressive vocabulary. It's the individual who grasps the code of skill mastery versus the one who just puts in hours. It's the difference between truly knowing how things work and simply knowing of them. Let's unpack one of these codes, the code of financial independence. Most people operate on a consumption treadmill. They earn more, they spend more. A recent study by the Federal Reserve found that 60% of American adults couldn't cover a $1,000 emergency expense from savings. This isn't a problem of income for many. It's a problem of understanding. They see a promotion, they upgrade their car, their house, their vacations, linearly scaling their spending with their earnings. The hidden cost here is not just the immediate expense, but the silent erosion of future optionality. Every dollar spent on a depreciating asset or non-essential consumption is a dollar that cannot compound, cannot buy time, cannot provide freedom. It's the forfeiture of future security for present, fleeting gratification. It's paying the freedom tax without even realizing it. The hidden code understands that every dollar saved and invested early isn't just a dollar. It's potentially $10, $20, or even $50 in the future, thanks to the magic of compounding. A simple calculation investing just $100 per month from age 25 to 65 at a modest 7% annual return yields over 260,000 reals. That same 100 started at age 35 yields just 120,000. The math is brutal in its elegance, demonstrating that time, not just capital, is the ultimate financial accelerant. The unsexy alternative is simple: pay yourself first, automate savings, live below your means, not just when you're starting out, but as a perpetual habit. Drive that reliable used car a few extra years. Resist the urge to keep up with the Joneses, who, frankly, are likely just as trapped by the superficial code. It's not about deprivation, it's about strategic allocation of resources towards a life of genuine freedom, rather than one dictated by endless consumption cycles. Now consider the code of true skill mastery. Many people equate practice with simply putting in hours or repeating tasks. Think of the amateur musician who plays the same songs over and over. or the professional who performs their job duties adequately but never truly improves. They believe effort equals progress, but effort without direction is just activity. We often find comfort in routine, even if it's ineffective, simply because it feels productive. The hidden cost of this kind of practice is the stagnation of potential. It breeds a false sense of competence and reinforces mediocre habits. It wastes precious time and energy that could be directed towards meaningful growth. More subtly, it dulls the intrinsic joy of learning by transforming it into a chore, preventing the deep satisfaction that comes from truly extending one's abilities. The hidden code here is deliberate practice, a concept popularized by psychologist K. Anders Ericsson. It's not just about doing, it's about doing with specific intent. This involves pushing beyond your comfort zone, seeking immediate feedback, focusing on weak points, and iterating. This disciplined, focused effort creates an exponential growth curve. Each improvement unlocks higher levels of complexity, allowing for even faster future learning. It's why a concert pianist can play pieces impossible for an amateur, not just because they started earlier, but because their practice methods are orders of magnitude more effective. The unsexy alternative is embracing discomfort and systematic self-correction. It means breaking down skills into their smallest components, identifying the bottleneck, and then drilling that specific weakness relentlessly. It means seeking out harsh, honest feedback and actively looking for failures as opportunities to refine. It's less about the quantity of hours and more about the quality of cognitive effort. It looks less impressive from the outside, but it builds genuine, robust competence from the inside out. Ultimately, understanding these hidden codes isn't about acquiring more things, or even about being smarter in the conventional sense. It's about a profound identity shift. It's realizing that true wealth, whether financial, intellectual, or relational, isn't about performance or appearance. It's about optionality. It's about freedom. It's about genuine control over your trajectory. When you grasp these underlying systems, you stop chasing fleeting external validation and start building robust internal foundations. You shift from being a passenger reacting to circumstances to becoming the architect of your experience. The goal isn't to look successful. It's to be resilient, adaptable, and genuinely capable. It's exchanging the dazzling but fragile veneer of performative success for the quiet, enduring strength of mastery. So, how do you begin to decipher these hidden codes in your own life? For the next 24 to 48 hours, I challenge you to choose one area where you feel stuck or where you're consistently pursuing a visible outcome. Instead of focusing on what you see others doing or what you think you should be doing, ask yourself this simple question, repeatedly, like a child. What is truly happening here, beneath the surface? What are the underlying rules, the unspoken dynamics, the foundational principles that govern the system? Peel back the layers, looking for the quiet forces that generate the visible results. It could be in your finances, your career, your relationships, or even your daily habits. Just observe, question, and seek the invisible levers.